Is your head just spinning because there's a lot of gel plates out there on the market and you want to know how to take care of them and understand more about them? And what is this thing called an impressible? Petites? And don't even get me started on the round jelly plates. It can all get rather confusing and overwhelming. Hi, I'm Sherry with Ratchet Up Your Art, where we take the ordinary to the extraordinary and provide a different perspective along the way. And in this video, we're going to unravel the mysteries of the gel plate, what they are, the different types, and how I take care and store my gel plates. So let's get started while we ratchet up your art. As I mentioned in my other video, when you get your gel plate for the first time, it'll come in a clamshell with 2 acetate sheets. The manufacturer will recommend that you remove both acetate sheets. However, I have seen some artists keep both acetate sheets on their plate. In my case, I removed both acetate sheets. When using your gel plate, you will want to use some kind of surface to put your plate on, especially if you remove both acetate sheets. Because the gel plate is made of oil and some polymers and probably some things that we don't know about, you'll want to put your gel plate on a non-porous surface, such as a glass mat, a craft mat, or you can even use plexiglass. As you can see, I have air bubbles on my plate. They're caused by trapping air or hair or some kind of other debris on your plate and then placing the acetate back on your plate. But it's not just the acetate. If you place anything on top or under your gel plate, it will cause an indention. You've got indentions like mine. Well, according to the manufacturers of gel plates, the best way to remedy this is to place your gel plate down between 2 pieces of copy paper and place a book or something heavy like a ream of paper on top of it and leave it on the flat surface overnight. Now I have to tell you, I didn't really try this technique. I didn't really see the need for it for what I do. I don't mind the indentions into my plate, but there are some artists who do. So you can try this technique out. It's recommended by the jelly plate manufacturers, and let me know how it works. I often wondered why artists use copy paper on their plate besides for printing. Now I understand. It's to 1, protect the surface that they're using. But in our case, we're using non-porous items. 2, not to trap any air bubbles underneath their plate when using it. This is hard to get rid of. And 3, it can be used as a registration mark for when you're pulling a print. Now let's talk about the first 2 items. Protect the surface that they're using. I use my glass mat most of the time. However, as I stated, any non-porous surface will work. I say non-porous because remember, these plates are made out of mineral oil and polymer materials. Therefore, anything that is porous will absorb any oil that leaks out of the plate. Therefore, when using copy paper, while it can be smooth and not trap any air bubbles, and it will not cause any indentions into your plate, it's really not a viable solution. The third item for registration we'll go over in another video, so please make sure to subscribe so you'll be notified when that video is available. Gel plates come in all different sizes and shapes and thicknesses. Your regular gel plates are about 3/8 of an inch. Those are your 8x10s, your 5x7s, your 3x4s, and even your round is about 3/8 of an inch thick. You want that thickness for the gel plate because of the squishiness. You like that squish factor when you're doing your prints. But what's also interesting is that there are gel plates that come in shapes. These are the different petites is what they're called, and they are about 1/4 of an inch thick. And these are kind of like, if you think about stamps, right? You could place these on your stamping platform and stamp them onto cards. You could put them on a stamping block, and you can stamp them on to your pages. And so that's what makes the petites, which are these different shaped ones, interesting to play with. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I will definitely have a video series on round plates as well as the petite plates. Now, the one that is the most interesting to me are these things called impressibles. Now, these impressibles are about 1/8 of an inch thick. See the difference in the thinness of the plate? This right here is 1/8 of an inch, whereas your regular gel plate is 3/8 of an inch. Now, the interesting thing about an impressible is that it is an embossed gel plate. So you have embossing on here and debossing gel plate, which makes a print onto other gel plates. So I could use this onto these other gel plates. And also what's interesting is that it's flat on the back side. So if you were really watching your budget and you wanted gel plate, this has two uses. This has the flat side, and this has the embossed raised side. Now the round, there are several different types of rounds. I think the smallest is a 4-inch, and it goes up to an 8-inch round. And I believe this is the 6-inch round. And these are a lot of fun to make jelly prints with. Okay, let me introduce you to this big bad boy right here, the 14x12 gel plate. This is my favorite gel plate. When I first got this, my husband thought I was crazy. Why did I need such a big gel plate? Because I already had this 8x10. Why did I need another one? Well, let me tell you. I need another one for several reasons. One, I like to brayer my paints onto another palette or another gel plate. I put the paint here and I brayer it here. And I like all this space for my prints. And this gel plate ends up becoming the bonus print. The extra goodness that I get from doing gel printing. Number 2 reason why I like this big guy. Because when I pull prints from the 8x10, I get all this white space. I don't like that white space. I see this as wasted space that I could put paint on. And I end up cutting the white space off because I don't use it. So when I pull prints from the 14x12, like these kinds of prints, it is going from edge to edge. And so therefore, I like those prints better. I'm not wasting paper. I get a full page print. I will use the 8x10 sometimes, and I will use the 5x7 as my palette to put paint on and to brayer onto the gel plate. So these are the 3 that I'll really use. I'll use this for a palette more so than pulling prints from. However, could I get another 8x10? Sure, I could get another 8x10. And a lot of artists have more than one Jello plate. I just haven't bought another one because I like this big bad boy here, this 14x12, and this 8x10 does its job for a palette. Now, as I mentioned in another video, I don't clean my gel plates. I like all this grungy goodness that is still on my gel plate. But there are some people, I understand, that have the need to clean their gel plate. And if that's the case, you can use soap and water. You can use baby wipes. You can use mineral oil. You can use hand sanitizer to clean your gel plate. I will not be cleaning my gel plates because when I go and pull another print, I'm hoping to pull up this grungy goodness and even some of this other grungy goodness that's in the middle of the plate. I'm hoping to pull that off onto my next print. Now let's talk about storing for a minute. This big bad boy, he's not gonna fit back into that clamshell because I just really don't want additional air bubbles put on him. And I talked about air bubbles earlier in the video. So what I do to store this big bad boy, I've got a baking cooking sheet and he fits into here really nicely. Now, when you are thinking about storing your gel plates, you have to think about your storage. How much room you have in your craft room. I have enough room in my craft room to store this guy flat and on this baking sheet. The other thing you have to think about is, what am I going to put on top of my gel plate? I don't want dust to get on it, and I don't want any more air bubbles. So what I did was I bought a lid. And you can use any kind of lid. There's no particular one. Even you may have one in your house right now. But I got a lid for a smaller baking sheet. And I placed it inside the larger one to protect the plate from getting dust. And if I were to accidentally put some weight on this, or to put something on top of it accidentally, it's not going to press into the plate. So therefore the plate's protected from dust and further indentions. Now there's another way that I store my smaller plates. I store my smaller plates in these gel plate tins. This is the 8x10 tin that I store my 8x10 in. Okay, that was a little crazy. The reason why I like these tins, it's got a lid attached to it, so I don't have to worry about dust. Also, it's durable enough. If I were to accidentally stack something on top of it, it's not going to press into the plate unless it's really heavy. Now, let's talk about these labels. I use my label printer to print the labels for my tins. There's an awesome video by Renee over on her YouTube channel where she even gives you a downloadable label sheet that you can use to label your tins. You should go check her out. So I used my label maker and did something very similar. Once my gel plates are in these tins, I am then able to store them onto my shelf in my studio. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to take care of your gel plates, the different types, my go-to gel plates, and what to do if you have air bubbles. And if you try that technique out, well, let me know. I'd like to know if that really does get rid of air bubbles, because I've just learned to embrace mine. And also, I would be interested in finding out how you store your gel plates. So make sure to subscribe, because that would really make my day. And if you like this video, give it 2 thumbs up. And thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art.